for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. Rico, what's up?
Hello.
How are we doing?
Going great. How about yourself? It's a
Not
fun
too bad.
show you just had.
That was a blast. Shout out to Raph and AD for filling in on Vershawn's show today. A lot of fun with them. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show now. It was a lot of fun. So if they're listening, shout out to those guys. They'll be at Wingstop tomorrow. I'll be in the studio still, but we'll still do a radio show tomorrow from 11 to 2. However, this is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Honda Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today, 402-464-5685. You can also tune in on the video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all those good places. Then you can always hit us up on Twitter, Nick_Sainert at Radio Rico AC. All right, so if just to kind of update you guys once again, give you guys the rundown. So this week it's a little different. DP's gone this week.
Yep, he left after one-on-one.
Awesome.
He is headed to North Carolina, I
All
believe,
right.
for some speeches and what have you.
There you go.
He might call in Friday, maybe Thursday. I'm not
Okay.
sure which. One of those is true. I will know more as I go forward, but tomorrow it'll be Jay and I for old school. And
Am I coming in?
believe
Am I coming in
me
for
and
at
you,
10?
Me and you
Okay.
for one-on-one,
So I'll be here at 10.
and then
And then
you on with the other guys for
Yes.
the captain, and then Thursday you're gone,
I'm gone Thursday and Friday.
so it'll be me and Jay for old school, me and Bach for one-on-one,
Wow. All right.
and then me and Nathan for happy hour.
Okay.
And that'll
Perfect.
be the same on Friday.
There you go. So there's a little bit of a rundown. Yes. I am not here Thursday, Friday. DP's gone all week. Might call in. I will not call in.
Why not?
Well,
I need you to tell me how the chimney is.
so Rico knows I'm playing at this course in Golden, Colorado called Fossil Trace. And in the middle
Golf
of
courses have the weirdest names.
so in the middle of fairway number 1, there's a chimney
Just a chimney.
that used to burn trash.
Yeah, a
It-
historic
there's
chimney.
there's a video of each hole on this golf course's website, and it just has a chimney. So I'll probably tweet out a picture standing next to the chimney.
You gonna burn some trash?
No,
Why?
but I am
That's what
curious.
it's there for.
I am curious to see how big it is.
You should try. I know you don't want to because you want your golf game to be good.
I'm not going to hit it. I'm going to
try
tell
and
you
make
right
it-
now.
Try and make it in the chimney.
In the chimney,
In the chimney.
I might just throw a ball into the chimney, and there's going to be a piece of me
Acceptable.
always at the course.
That is acceptable.
All right, perfect.
Write your name on it. Toss it in the chimney.
All right, perfect. We're good. 402-464-5685, Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Want to hear your guys' thoughts all show long. Got plenty to talk about. Something that's kind of went under discussion, not under discussion, but under the rug has been Armand Gates leaving.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
we
that.
haven't talked about
when
that.
it
So
happened.
I kind of want to dive into that here. We'll probably talk about that in the first segment. It is EAS today, so we got to remember
24.
it's EAS. We lost it last week. We lost our
Yeah.
streak last week,
gotta
so we
start it
gotta
back up.
we gotta start it back up. It'll be week 1 today, so we got about 13 minutes left in this segment, and then in the next segment, I kind of want to dive into a little bit of a recruiting discussion and how we feel about the recruits, because Nebraska. I sent out a tweet today that was
Stolen.
stolen, which I don't like. But I sent out the tweet and it read, Nebraska seems to be ahead of schedule with high school prospects on the recruiting trail. On July 12th, 2021, Nebraska had 7 commitments for their 2022 class. 5 of those actually ended up on campus. Grant Page and Ashton Hayes both decommitted. On July
Grant Page was like a day before signing day decommitment.
Yes,
Ashton
to
Hayes,
Colorado.
Ashton Hayes was like a couple weeks earlier, but they lost Ashton Hayes and they got National High School Player of the Year, Emmett Johnson.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Anyway, so once again, I'll repeat that. On July 12th of 2021, Nebraska had 7 commitments for their 2022 class. 5 of them ended up on campus. Today, on July 12th, 2022, Nebraska has 14 commitments for their 2023 class.
Whew.
So I want to pose this question, and we'll do it in the second segment. We'll dive deeper into this. But how is this next offseason going to look for Nebraska? We already figured that they aren't going to utilize the transfer portal as much as they did this offseason. At least you hope not.
I think I have a different take on that.
Okay.
I think they're going to use it a decent amount, but I don't think it's going to be at multiple positions. I think it's going to be at one position.
Interesting.
And I think
offensive line.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of agrees with that, where, I don't think you're going to lose a lot. I can't even think of like the true seniors, like anybody that has to be gone off of the offensive line next season that would be like an impact person.
Yeah.
But I think Brock Bando might be a senior, actually.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
So you're going to lose Brock Bando, who is more than likely going to start at one of the guard positions, especially
Now with
after Newely being suspended for the year. But the offensive line, they have one offensive lineman from high school recruit. I believe that's Sam Sledge.
They also have Brock Knutson.
Brock Knutson. So they have 2. But you don't expect them to make any type of impact.
Are you bringing them in to have an instant impact? So what's interesting about the offensive line?
I mean, it would really be off of what happens this year with the offensive line.
Absolutely.
Because if they're not much improved, you're going to see them dip into the transfer portal again on the offensive side of the ball for the offensive line. But if they look good, if they play good, I mean, you're probably going to have to replace one, maybe 2 offensive linemen.
Well, and once again, so this is all speculation, obviously, but that's all we can do right now on July 12th of 2022. So you look at the depth chart for Nebraska's offensive line, and as Rico said, Brock Bando is senior, Trent Hickson is senior. So both those guys, this will be their final season.
So again, guessing probably your starting center,
center.
One of your starting guard at whatever side.
Yes. Maybe a tackle.
Bando at tackle. Hickson's going to be center.
Yes, Hickson at center.
Bando's going to be a guard.
So Bando is labeled as a tackle. So
they had him play guard last season. The different offensive line coach. There's that.
Because here's where Turner Corcoran
Uh-huh.
has been talked about moving inside to guard.
Which I think would be fantastic for him.
So then you have also a redshirt junior and Kevin Williams Jr. at guard.
But he can play tackle.
But you don't need him at tackle.
But he can't. If you need him at tackle, you can.
Because
Bando.
Listen to this, Rico. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
So it's Bryce Bent. So here are your tackles that are in the mix for 2 positions. Turner Corcoran, who we said moves inside. So I think that's a done deal. Teddy Prohaska at the left.
Coming off of an entirely new knee.
Okay, so then Brant Banks would be behind him.
Okay.
Then you have Hunter Anthony from Oklahoma State.
Who was a starter.
Yes, so he's going to be a guy.
Yeah.
And then you also have Brock Bando. And behind that, you have Bryce Benhart. And then I guess behind him, you have Alex Kahn.
Unless they don't move Turner Corcoran inside.
I think that's a done deal.
More than likely with the new LE.
Yeah.
Probably.
So then you look inside, and it's Kevin Williams Jr., you have Turner Corcoran as well. Also, you have Ethan Piper and Henry Lutovsky. And Trent Hickson at center.
Yeah.
So it's clear. It's interesting to see how this offensive line is going to shake out. Talked to Zach Carpenter of Rivals yesterday. He believes that they're going to cap this class at 18. It's going to be 18, 19, 20, one of those numbers.
Okay.
And he thinks it's going to be closer to 18 than closer to 20.
Well, I'm sure.
And it's going to be, he believes that they're going, from what they've continued to pursue, 1 wide receiver, 1 offensive lineman, 1 defensive lineman, and 1 cornerback, which would make it 18.
Yeah. But I'm sure if they get somebody who
there's obviously those anomalies that you don't say no to them. Like if Nebraska gets another wide receiver not named Malachi Coleman, and then Malachi Coleman decides in 3 months that he wants to commit to Nebraska, you're going to say yes.
Oh yeah.
That's one of those guys that you will for sure take.
Yeah, if you're sitting at 18, you're not going to say no.
Exactly. Exactly.
just because you want to stay at 18, and I don't think you're going to cut anybody off. So
I want to dive into that a little bit here in the next segment, because that's the one that we can go a little farther on. However, let's go back to Husker basketball here.
yes,
Armon Gates, a guy that's been at Nebraska since the Tim Miles time. He hired him. He had that whole drama stuff with Florida Northwestern, and then Nebraska swooped in. Tim Miles hired him. Was a huge hire at the time. Huge hire for Nebraska basketball, and for Tim Miles. He decides to move on, heads to Oregon, and now late in the process,
very late in the process.
Fred Hoiberg has to find a new assistant coach.
A new top assistant, great guy on the recruiting trail, widely known. It's not easy, especially as you said, this late in the cycle, to find somebody to fill that spot. But if anybody can go out and convince somebody to possibly leave a school that they're currently at, it might be Fred Hoiberg.
Well, and I was going to say that's how it's going to be, unfortunately.
Because is there anybody that doesn't
No.
currently have a job that people are chomping at the bit to get? Maybe. I can think of, well, I don't know about chomping at the bit, but I can think of one really good hire.
Who? Is it really good, or do you just like it?
I like it.
Who is it?
I don't want to say it. Not on air. I'll tell you later.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he at another Big Ten team?
No.
Because there's one that I thought about. Oh, I do know.
You do know.
Okay,
just had
I do
to give-
know.
I had to give you the look.
Give me a time.
Yeah.
There's also another one that is, let's see. Here, let me just look up. Formerly a Nebraska assistant. That would be
Yeah,
really good. Currently an assistant at Indiana.
that would be nice.
That would be a really
That would
nice
be
one.
Very nice.
No speculation. Fred Hoiberg did say this morning, met with the media, said Armon Gates had a very emotional meeting with Nebraska's players before he left, called the Oregon job a great opportunity, and that the timing of Armon's movement is, quote, difficult, but there's nothing we can do about it. That's true.
I mean, you don't, for how good Nebraska's been to him and how good he's been to Nebraska, you don't say no to a job like Oregon.
Well, so what makes this whole situation kind of fascinating for me is there was a lot of speculation, and rightfully so. His brother, Armon's brother, got the head coaching job at Missouri.
Mhm.
And there was a lot of thought that if the only way that Armon left Nebraska this offseason was if he went and coached with his brother at Missouri.
Became the assistant for Missouri.
Ended up not going to Missouri. So you kind of felt pretty confident that Nebraska's staff was kind of solidified after an offseason of quite a bit of movement, because you obviously lose Matt Abdelmassih, or you part ways with Matt Abdelmassih as the head recruiter.
Mhm.
You bring in Adam Howard, the more defensive-minded guy. You eliminate Doc Sadler's position. Nate Lenzer's still on staff. After kind of a tumultuous season as well, like, let's not forget that part, is it's not like Nebraska found a lot of success last year. They did toward the latter part of the year,
Mhm.
but now you lost Bryce McGowens, who was a second-round NBA draft pick. And so Fred Hoiberg sitting here after adding quite a few transfers, and Sam Griesel had surgery a couple months ago, and now he's rehabbing.
getting back
Wilhelm
to it.
Breidenbach threw down a dunk this morning at practice,
Love it.
and so he's getting live reps as well. So you got to sit here, and there's a lot of unknowns with this basketball team, and now you throw in, you lose an assistant that, granted, never by himself brought a recruit in. And that was kind of some of the thought, is maybe he would be able to have a bigger recruiting role at Oregon, and Dana Altman would let him have more of a recruiting role at Oregon. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this plays out. And it will be also one thing to watch is how Fred Hoiberg navigates this search. What kind of coach does he go after? Because he has, obviously with the hire of Adam Howard, went more with the on-the-floor coach. And Nate Lenzer is as well. Does he go with the on-the-floor coach, or will he maybe try to find another Matt Abdelmassih type that is a pure recruiter and it is exceptional?
I was thinking maybe you go for on the floor coach. You're still looking at that because that's still important. But an on the floor coach who their strength might not be coaching on the floor, but might be recruiting. Like, they're a really good recruiter, but at the same time, they're a basketball mind that will help you on the court. And I'm not, not saying that Matt Abdelmassih didn't know basketball, but I'm just saying that somebody that can help you on the offensive, defensive side of the ball, on the court, as well as being a strong recruiter and being able to bring in recruits on their own.
Yeah, so Armon Gates, once again, last Friday was announced heading to Oregon, leaving Nebraska. So now Fred Hoiberg's got to find another assistant after he had made the hire of Adam Howard earlier this offseason. And as they continue kind of their offseason workouts and things like that in a season that we talk about the football program needing results, and you have to think basketball's in a similar boat.
Oh, yeah.
They are in a very similar boat with needing results. And obviously expectations might be a little bit lower for basketball.
This is just such a weird time for one of your assistants to leave you, because you're not like starting up camp, but you're starting up workouts. They had workouts this morning. They're ramping stuff up. They're not really on the recruiting trail. They're just trying to prepare themselves to get ready for their camps to start up, for their season to start up in, a couple of months, really. Like it's such an awkward time because across the nation, all the other colleges are doing the same thing. So if you're going to look at an assistant at a different school, you're going to be putting them in the same situation. I don't know. It's weird.
So Armon Gates, 39 years old. It's still unclear, according to duckterritory.com, which is their 24/7 sports website. Currently unclear what role Gates is taking on at Oregon. Obviously, the Ducks lost Chris Crutchfield this offseason when he took the Nebraska Omaha coaching job. So
the state of Nebraska and the state of Oregon just swapping coaches.
Handshake emoji.
There you go.
Handshake emoji. So once again, 39-year-old worked primarily with Nebraska's guards and in player development. So we'll see what his role is at Oregon. Once again, Armon Gates leaving Nebraska was announced last Friday. We just haven't been able to talk about it. We forgot about it yesterday.
A lot of coaching staff shake up for Nebraska basketball, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
Doc Sadler, Matt Abdelmassih, you lose Armon Gates, and Buzzy Carruthers.
That's right, Missouri State. That's right. A lot of offseason shakeups and a little bit of personnel shakeups as well within the roster. I mean, you bring in Sam Griesel.
That seems as if it's an every year thing.
Especially for Nebraska basketball. Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right. When we come back, we'll dive in more to this Husker football discussion. How are we feeling about recruits? We'll dive into maybe a little bit of the running back room as well, because Gabe Irvin's kind of flying under the radar. So we'll dive into that a little bit deeper coming up next on the Happy Hour.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln. It has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Hey, batter, batter, batter. Wings, splatter, splatter, splatter. Catch all this season's baseball action at one of your neighborhood Lincoln locations. Get League of Their Own wings, burgers, nachos, and ringers while catching all the action. Stop into Wings and Rings located on O Street in Meridian Park and 40th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village. Or place your order online at wingsandrings.com. That's wingsandrings.com. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I could actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
Swing for the fences with single game tickets to see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond. The Salt Dog season is stacked with reasons to spend your summer at Haymarket Park. Get a free general admission ticket when you donate 3 non-perishable food items on Triple Play Tuesdays. Eat $2 Fairbury brand dogs on Wiener Wednesdays. Score drink specials on Thirsty Thursdays. Then win your weekend with Firework Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days presented by Casey's. Get tickets at saltdogs.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This message is for Karina. Our mom will finish her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. All right, so just as of 3 minutes ago, it's something that we've been expecting, Rico.
Wait.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Go ahead.
All right, so former USC Trojan running back Marquise Stepp has entered the transfer portal, according to On3.com. Something that we had seen come in, we had expected it, couldn't take it to the air, had a feeling about it, and now it's official. Per Matt Zinitz,
We weren't
of On3.
sure, but we were sure.
Yeah. Yep.
It
So-
was kind of hard to envision him staying, especially, he transferred in last season, thought to be, the starting running back. Turns out it's the true freshman Gabe Irvin. Marquise Stepp gets a couple carries here and there. It doesn't really pan out. And then, you have Gabe Irvin coming back off of injury. People are loving that. Ramir Johnson showed out last season and what he could do. You bring in Anthony Grant. Jacques Yant, kind of had a coming out party last year and is thought to be, one of the top 3, top 4 running backs. Marquise Stepp just kind of lost in the shuffle. So it was really hard to envision him staying here, even though he had already used his one free transfer to come from USC to Nebraska. I don't know if he's graduated, if he can grad transfer, or if he, decides to transfer and has to sit out a year. But if he entered the transfer portal this late, you're
probably gonna have to sit out.
You would think he's going to leave here shortly. Get an offer from somewhere, leave, and end up sitting out a year.
Yeah, so Nebraska's running back room takes a little bit of a hit. Once again, Marquise Stepp has entered the transfer portal per On3 Sports.
Still a deep room though.
Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and update this. I had taken him off my scholarship chart already.
How many more do they need?
They are sitting at 87 now that it's public.
And they need
85.
2 more.
2 more. 2 more will not be on the roster going into fall camp.
Where will they come from?
So here's interesting part about it. Nebraska now has 5 running backs in the room, and those 5 are
Anthony Grant. I want to name it.
Okay,
right.
so
Anthony Grant.
Yep.
Jacques Yant. Ramir Johnson.
My guy.
I literally just
a guy that I'm a lot higher on than a lot of people.
Hold on.
He's a
Anthony
redshirt
Grant,
freshman.
I know. Anthony Grant, Jacques Yant, Ramir Johnson, Gabe Irvin, and Emmett Johnson.
Yep. Excuse me,
That's
there's
a true
6.
freshman.
Excuse me, there's 6 in their room.
Who else is
I
there?
already altered that number. Think Brian Applewhite. I think of Brian Applewhite, and it's one of the first ones that come to my mind.
And now I can't even. He was committed to TCU. He was going to go
AJ
to TCU.
Allen.
There we go.
AJ
It's
Allen.
AJAY.
Yep, AJAY.
I just couldn't think of his name.
AJ Allen.
I knew exactly who it
So,
was though.
Once again, final time, On3 Sports reports that Marquise Stepp, Nebraska running back, as wild as it is, okay, so he's played 4 seasons. His class is a sophomore. On ESPN.com, it says that he is a sophomore because he must have gotten injured.
Red shirt, COVID.
Yes, exactly. Sophomore. So
Jeez.
6
'Cause
foot,
he's the one that
235 pounder.
He's the one that high-fived Reggie Bush after a touchdown run.
I believe so.
He got in trouble.
That's fun. I like that a lot.
That's a good story.
That's a really good story. So once again, Marquise Stepp, portal, had 45 carries, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns last year. Okay, so actually, Rico, I have not done the running back production chart with you.
Ooh.
Okay, so I need to pull this up. All right, Big Ten running back production. Here we go. All right, so comparing to the Big Ten West, I did this on Rashawn's show when I was running solo a couple days ago. I think on last Friday.
Okay.
Nebraska last year had 186 carries from the running backs. This takes out quarterbacks. All those teams I looked at, I took quarterbacks out of the mix.
Perfect.
186 carries for 1,272 yards.
I can name 2 running backs off the top of my head that had more than that.
Okay, so anyway, good for 6.83 yards per carry. Okay.
That's not terrible.
That's
as a
really
group.
good.
That's really
that is
good
really
as a
good.
group.
Now, obviously, when you add more carries, the averages are going to even out. They're
Yeah.
going to, like, obviously
182. That's not
or
a lot.
186.
It's not a lot combined.
Yeah, exactly. Combined being the kicker.
Yeah.
Sevion Morrison and Marvin Scott had moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And those two guys accounted for 47 carries, 182 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Those two had 47
Yes,
carries.
but think about it. Like, you think back to now.
I didn't even think either one of them had 20.
Well, no, and you remember, I think Sevion got a lot of his time against Buffalo.
Oh, true.
We'll look this up.
Northwestern saw a lot of running backs play.
Sevion Morrison.
I remember Marvin Scott had a touchdown.
So Sevion Morrison, as just individually last year, 30 carries, 116 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He had 8 carries for 24 yards against Buffalo, 1 carry for 1 yard against Oklahoma, 3 carries for 15 yards against Michigan State, 5 carries and 26 yards against Northwestern, and 4 carries for 19 yards against Minnesota. So Sevion Morrison, now at Kansas, has moved on. Marvin Scott III, this was the one that I was surprised about, that he had this much production, because I don't remember much about Marvin Scott at Nebraska, I should say, last year. Played in 4 games in 2021. Carried the ball, as the stats load, it would be like 17 carries, I think, for however many yards. Anyway, Nebraska returns running backs that carried the ball 139 times last year for 1,090 yards and 9 touchdowns, which is not a lot.
That is not a lot.
It's not a lot. So then I looked, like, again, around other Big Ten West teams. Okay. So Iowa, as running back group, 402 carries for 1,803 yards, good for 4.48 yards per carry. However, one guy, Tyler Goodson, rushed 256 times for almost 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns.
One guy rushed for more than
Nebraska's returning
group.
Yeah. It's insane to think about. So what we can do now is, and I'll actually do this, go ahead and let's find out Marquise Steps stats here. So now, because now we're going to be able to give you guys a subtract Marquise Steps statistics from Nebraska's returning production. So if he would have returned, let's see, 45 for 177, and they returned. All right, so you got the calculator for you?
Oh, yeah, I can get it, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and grab the calculator. I'll tell you the numbers to subtract. 139 minus 45.
Okay.
And then what's that number?
94.
Okay. Yikes, that's not good.
That's not good at all.
That is not good. Okay, okay, so 94 carries, 1,090 minus 177.
913.
And he had 2 touchdowns, so 7 TDs. So now,
oh my God,
as of this year, so this just tells everybody. Now, granted, Brian Applewhite new to the system, and we're expecting a change.
Yes.
So, but as of July, like right now on July 12th, this is all we can look at. So Nebraska returns in the entire running back room, a room that carried the ball 94 times last year for 913 yards and 7 touchdowns. Oh,
that's between 2 people, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
Ramir and Yant. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it is. Let's bring Nate in.
What does he want?
Not trying to interfere in your guys' conversation. We have some breaking news. Marquise Stepp is officially in the transfer portal.
Wow.
This guy.
It's like that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was doing a little podcast.
Were you not listening to what we were saying?
Wow.
No, I wasn't listening at all.
Hey, okay, Nate.
I'm prepping for the water cooler.
What is
3 to 4?
I cannot believe this just happened. Okay, anyway, Nate, what is your reaction when I say that Nebraska returns in the entire running back room? This is without Adrian Martinez included in this. Running backs that as a room carried the ball 94 times last year for 913 yards.
And 7 touchdowns.
I would say that's pretty good.
What?
They carried the ball 94 times.
Compared to Wisconsin, who carried the ball 498 times for 2,728 yards.
Well, they're starting running backs coming back, right?
Braylon Allen. So is Nebraska's not?
Who are you considering the starter?
Bingo. That's the whole point of this.
Both of them are
But
coming
that's
back.
the thing is, I think that's why you have to have some faith in Mark Whipple, is that you have guys in the room, and if we establish a starting running back, I'm completely confident in this running back group. The big point, though, you have to establish the starting running back.
So Braylon Allen at Wisconsin, 186 carries last year, 1,268 yards and 12 touchdowns. Ches Malusi, who got banged up against I can't remember the game, but got banged up in the season for Wisconsin. 173 carries, 815 yards, 5 touchdowns. Minnesota, 520 carries as a team for 2,593 yards and 23 rushing touchdowns. Mohamed Ibrahim got injured in game 1 against Ohio State, had 30 carries for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You guys know the common denominator in all those schools, though, is they run a completely different offense than Nebraska. I think this year Nebraska's offense will look maybe not similar, but it'll look a little bit closer to that offensive scheme. Like having Adrian Martinez run 15, 20 times a game, Iowa doesn't do that.
But the point of this discussion
20 times wasn't by design.
That's not the point of this discussion, though. Like you guys are missing. I don't know if you guys are missing the point of the discussion. Is that when you break it down by averages, and this is exactly what Augie said, and he was kind of being sarcastic, I believe. 94 carries and 900 plus yards is a nice average per carry. ... Exactly, and that's my point. This is why I did this discussion, is because when you break it down by the averages, there is no reason that Nebraska should have abandoned the running game way and to the extent that they did last year.
I agree. True.
There's no reason, and I understand that when you're down and you need to change up your offense and everything because you're losing. Like I get that. But and once again, I'm not expecting the average yards per carry to be 6.83 like it was last year, because if you have 300 carries for 1,500 yards, you're going to have a less average per carry than you are. Unless you're that good. But
Which would be wild.
For example, Minnesota's yards per carry, the 520 for 2,593, 4.98 yards per carry.
Nebraska doesn't run anywhere close
but that's
to
not
Minnesota's
that's not what the
offense,
conversation
though.
is.
It's not the offense. It's just the fact
not
that
the conversation.
Nebraska had a decent average per carry. They should have run the ball more, but they didn't. That's the conversation.
That's not what that. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't understand what you guys are getting at then. Why? So you're telling me you're not confident in the running game this year? I'm confused what you guys are saying.
Nate.
What are you guys saying then?
We're just saying.
We're trying to say that when you break it down statistically, when you look at things when you set things aside that you can look at on paper, and what we can look at on paper is that as of right now, 186 carries for 1,200 plus yards got you at 6.83 yards per carry. It showed that your running back room was not abysmal, and that you still chose to abandon the running game and run your quarterback 20 times.
But this is where, yes, I understand now. I'm understanding what you're getting at. But I think we need to take it with a grain of salt, because this is going to be a completely different looking offense. I understand your frustration last year. I'm right there with you.
But it shows it doesn't
but
need
it's
to
going to
be
look completely different.
It shows that it doesn't need to be a different offense. You just need
because
to.
Adrian Martinez is a big part of that running game.
No, exactly.
But this is without his stats.
This is without his stats.
Exactly, and that's what should make you confident.
No, but that's what we're saying, is that the running back stats were good.
And Augie is picking that up. Augie is picking this up. It tells me that if Adrian wasn't running 15 to 20 times a game, we could run the ball.
I agree.
And yes, exactly. So there was no excuse last year that Jacques Yant should have been pulled after he runs and only carries the ball 2 times for 5 yards.
Right.
There's no reason for it. But yet, game after game, we saw Marquise Stepp play decently well in the first game against Illinois, and then you didn't see him. You would see Savion Morrison have a little bit of a spurt, and you didn't see him. And yes, we brought in a new offensive coordinator. Yes, we brought in a new running backs coach, and that's all you can do. But as of right now, there's a reason. There's a part of me though, Nate, that if you're a head coach, and I already can tell that people are going to text in and say I have disdain for Scott Frost, and that's not it. But if you are a head coach and you are looking at these stats and saying, all right, yeah, we can run the ball at 6 yards per carry, why aren't you running it? Why are you still deciding to run your quarterback when that has not worked for the last 3.5
but
years?
That's a big part of it, though.
And he's still here.
And I've told you that's the biggest thing, though, is whether you like it or not, whether it was wrong or right, Scott Frost stuck on Adrian Martinez for too long. It's
Absolutely.
It's time to move apart. But I think that's what should make you so confident, Nick, is that I agree with you. The running back room is solid. The numbers on paper are solid. You have a new offensive quarterback or an offensive coordinator. You have a new quarterback. You made some additions in the transfer portal to add to the already stacked running room to begin with. I think we should be excited. I don't think we should be looking at this negatively.
We are excited.
I think we should be looking at this positively.
We are excited.
Adrian Martinez, you don't have to force him to do it now.
Nate,
you don't.
No.
He's
the conversation, what the conversation has been, once again, what the conversation has been is that we always use this blanket statement of Nebraska can't run the football.
Who said that?
That has been the blanket statement. That
I have
Nebraska
never
doesn't
said that.
Okay, you have not. Yes, congratulations.
I don't know who has
but
said that.
Enrico, am I wrong? That's a blanket statement that you just had.
A lot of people
Yes.
I've never seen
just
that.
came out and said Nebraska doesn't run the football. They're trying to pass the ball. You can't win in the Big Ten.
Or
by
that
passing the
Adrian
ball. They need to
Martinez
try
running
to-
was the only option.
Yeah, they
Well, I've
need to
never
run the
seen
ball. And Adrian Martinez is rushing is the only way that Nebraska can get any type of rushing yards. That has been said by many people.
Well, I don't know who would say that because I have not seen that. Whoever said that, block him on the text line.
Okay, anyway. All I'm saying is that the point of this discussion, the reason that I looked up these statistics is because we say that blanket statement of there was no running game outside of Adrian Martinez. Statistically on paper, there was. Now, obviously, and Outdoors Kevin points this out, and I said this earlier, is that when you get more attempts, your yards per carry is going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Nebraska, but when you look at the stats and go 186 carries for 1,272 yards, which is good for almost 7 yards per carry, I get that's going to go down if you have 400 carries and you only have 2,000 yards.
But
I get that.
also-
But still, you look at Iowa and they're 4.48 yards per carry.
That's a first down.
That's a first down.
Yeah.
That's a first down.
And you got to think about it. That's 186 yards per carry between 5-6 running backs, whereas Iowa had one running back have 200 carries. His average may be lower, but the people behind him who are having,
The production
80, 90
levels, man.
carries will be higher.
I just think from what I'm grasping from this conversation is there needs to be faith in Mark Whipple's offense because on paper, it looks great. I'm with you guys. Have faith. Adrian Martinez is out of the building. That was a big part of it.
This isn't an Adrian Martinez.
It is
this isn't
because the
this is
offense
not-
was shaped around him, and that's what impacted the running game. It is going to look a lot more downhill under center this year. I'm telling you right now.
That is exactly what Marquise Stepp said
I
before
was
the
going to
season
say,
started.
yeah.
Well,
So
guess what?
that is-
He's
let's-
gone.
let's
so
go-
how'd that work?
exactly
How'd
what
that
he
work
said.
out? Because he's gone.
He had 45 carries for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And you're
Those 2
telling me that he
touchdowns came in the first game against Illinois, and we never saw him again.
And out of the depth of the running back room, where would you put Marquise Stepp?
This year?
I don't know. I didn't
We
get to
don't
see him.
know.
Fourth?
Where would you put Gabe Irvin?
Fourth?
Do we know? Where would you put Anthony Grant? Do we know? Where would you put Jaquez Yant? We have
That's
no
And that's my
clue.
point. But if I'm saying if you had to decide right now, where would you put Marquise Stepp? I wouldn't put him in the top 3 in the room. I don't blame him for transferring. I'd do the same.
Let's go ahead and head to break. We'll wrap up the happy hour coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour. with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hey, sports fans, Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
And now, poetry from the world of Yum. You need a treat, but not something predictable. Cookies, cupcakes, apple pie, it's all boringly typical. So here's a little rule of thumb. Take that income, avoid the humdrum, and get yourself to the world of Yum. The cakes are made for any celebration, every cause of elation, alongside every occasion. So get in your car. You would be remiss not to take that drive down to Beatrice.
Check out Grandma's fruit cake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of Yum.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric always makes safety a top priority for our home and office. In under just 1 hour, their team installed the state-of-the-art air scrubber system directly into our existing HVAC ductwork. This technology purifies the air and reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses, creating a safer breathing environment for my family. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I could actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico back with you. Good conversation here. Got a little heated.
Just a smidge.
So it is official. Marquise Stepp is into the transfer portal. 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Now, before we have a phone call, we'll get to it here in a second. Before we take the phone call and we continue with this topic, I want to make it very clear that there was a reason that I took Adrian Martinez out of these statistics.
I didn't want to mention him
because this is not an Adrian Martinez discussion. And I understand that Scott Frost hitched his wagon to Adrian Martinez and that Ryan Held is no longer here. I get that. And it's for the best that those changes have been made, both Adrian Martinez moving on or Nebraska moving on, I should say, and Ryan Held moving on as well. And it is frustrating though, because we always have those blanket statements of Nebraska couldn't run the ball well with their running backs. And we always talked about how, yeah, we saw Marquise Stepp in the first drive, but now haven't seen him in 3 straight games. Or we saw Jock Yant against Northwestern, and then what happened the rest of the season with Jock Yant? We didn't see him. He messed up on one play, and he got pulled.
And was not seen or heard from again.
And so it's one of those things. And if we really want to go down the Adrian Martinez tunnel, what did Nebraska have to do in the Iowa game? That was a perfect opportunity to run the ball with their running backs, and yet they still ran Logan Smothers.
And so
that's where I have the problem with this. If you want to truly bring Adrian Martinez into this discussion, we can, and I will agree everything that they say, that you guys say, because we're all on the same page about it. But whether it was Adrian Martinez or Logan Smothers or anybody, it's the fact that Nebraska in years past has been overly reliant on the quarterback running game, despite statistically the running backs being able to run the ball. All right. Let's go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. We got Cole on the line. Cole, happy Tuesday, man. What's on your mind?
All right, Nick. I don't understand how you can say, oh, we're just going to take Adrian out of the discussion. Because what kind of offense did we run last year, Nick?
I'll ask you the same question. Do you know? Well, it was
the option. And you know what the option means? It means you have options to run the ball with different people. And you know what Adrian did 99% of the time?
Ran it by himself.
The ball.
Yeah. Did Adrian?
I don't understand how you're saying that you're blaming Frost completely about the running game. When
I'm not blaming
the option, which gives Adrian the option.
I'm not blaming Scott Frost specifically. I'm saying whoever was calling the plays, they didn't like. Cool. So are you telling me that Nebraska ran enough with their running backs last year?
We ran the option most of the time.
Did you run the option when you're lining up
on what's the best?
Did you run the option when you're running when it's a quarterback designed run on 3rd and 8 from shotgun formation when Adrian Martinez is the lone guy in the backfield?
No.
If you're talking specifically pitch option, they ran that very, very sparingly last season. If you're talking run pass option, they ran that a decent amount last season, where Adrian would pull the ball and go to pass, where Adrian would pull the ball, go to pass it, realize either nobody was open or he was making the wrong reads or he was getting pressured, and run the ball because he needed to.
Yeah, a lot of this.
Did he run a lot on his own? Yes, he did.
With the run pass option as well, it takes a quarterback that is very bright and knows the game and is sharp. And Adrian, at times, we don't need to tell you guys this. Adrian did not make the best decisions a lot of the time, and so you're absolutely right. But Cole, the purpose of this argument, and thank you for the call. We'd keep you on the line, but we have to get out of here. It's 3:00. But the purpose of this argument, once again, was that we always say Nebraska can't run the football with their running backs, or at least from what we've seen in Nebraska not giving their running backs the chance to run the ball, whether that's Adrian Martinez. And if that's Adrian Martinez, then cool, I guess I would say this. Why aren't we making Adrian Martinez run the football? It doesn't have to. If you really want to run the option and your quarterback is still not running or is still just running it by himself, why is he playing?
If your quarterback has injury problems and a problem fumbling the ball, maybe stop running him.
Like either that, or if he doesn't want to hand off the ball, put somebody in that will. Because something's got to change. And I think it does this year. I truly do. But more so, this was just a conversation of running back specifically. Who knows? Maybe we'll continue this tomorrow. But good stuff today. Nate and Bach are next. We'll talk to you guys later.
Adios.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the